step number 3 of the process. Now remember, in step 3, where we edit our video together, we're going to be using the free tool DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve. So let me go ahead and show you DaVinci Resolve. Here I've got the menu open. You can see we've got all kinds of projects. We're working on flute pieces. This is a flute piece that's going to air this week. We do this event called Through Word and Song, which prepares our hearts for communions, keyboard music. We're doing kind of modern worship shows and that sort of thing to point people to the message of hope during this season. Handbell pieces, organ pieces, and I'm happy to share some of what we're doing at the end. Just let me know in the Q&A time that you want to see some of that, and I'll share with you some examples of virtual choir pieces, virtual handbell pieces we're putting together using this exact process, okay? And lastly, let me mention, because I see in the comments there we're talking about MP3s and WAV files. Yes, MP3s are smaller files, but if you work off an external hard drive, it keeps the heavy workload off of your computer hard drive. If you want to keep those files larger, you can work with MP3s. That's totally fine. Just know the advantage of working with an MP3 is, as you are saying, that it's a smaller file type, so now it doesn't eat as much information off of your hard drive. But if you want to maintain even higher quality resolution and compress it at the end, then work with your WAV files, etc. All right, let's go ahead and open up a project within DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to click Untitled Project here, and this will take us to the page. It opens up, and here, if you're familiar with not GarageBand, but iMovie, you can see it's sort of similar in the layout. Here we have our media pool. Here we have the video screen, and down here we have our timeline. Now it defaults to the cutscene, and down here is actually how you navigate in DaVinci Resolve. What I'm going to do is hit the next icon, which is Edit. We're going to hit Edit, and then I'm going to go up here to File, and I'm going to go to Import File, and these are going to be imported into the media pool. Now you could have stayed here where it defaulted and actually imported the files here. In fact, why don't we do that? We'll go Import File, Import Media. I went kind of fast there, so let me show you that again. It's very simple. As I get the wheel, the spinny wheel there. I got a lot of programs open tonight, my friends. Hey, and on that whole thing of like processes being new, I was talking to my daughter the other day. Her name is Abby. She's an artist. She's 10 years old. She's learning colors, pastels, and using watercolor and all those different things with some lessons. And she approached me with a piece of art that she had done the other day. She goes, "Dad, it's just not my best." I said, "Sweetie, you're in the learning process. This is a step-by-step iterative process, and you're gonna get better with each time that you do it. So take comfort in that. Take a lesson from Abby and know that she's getting better with her art lessons. We're all works in progress, and we're going to get better with this as time goes on." So let me show you that again. We go up to File. We go to Import File. We go to Import Media. We click that, and once we do, we can move on over to our folder where our files are located. I'm going to go to the desktop, and then I'm going to go to the folder where I have my files. I have some video examples right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of the video examples, including the audio that I extracted in step number 2 of the process. We're going to open that right up. When we open it, you'll notice that we get a prompt. It says the clips have a different frame rate than the current project settings. Would you like to change your timeline frame rate and video format to match? Yes, change that. We're going to change that, and you'll see that the videos populate up here in the media pool. Now, here in DaVinci Resolve, you can add special effects. You can do all kinds of things, just like you could do in Audacity. And we're not going to have time to unpack all of the nitty-gritty things, like adding special backgrounds, title screens, lower thirds, all of those different things. But just know that you can do all that in DaVinci Resolve, and what a robust free program. Have in our DaVinci Resolve online course, we go through some of the things that you can do there. And of course, in the session replays of the 30-day virtual choir challenge, we spend an hour and a half unpacking what's possible within DaVinci Resolve as it pertains to your virtual music presentations. Now up here, we've got all 5 of our files. We've got the master audio file that we created in step number 2 of the process, and we've got 4 video files. Now the audio is still attached to the video, and that's a good thing. We want that audio to be attached. What we're going to do is highlight all of these videos here and the audio together. We're going to move over to our edit scene. I'll need to highlight again. We'll highlight it up here. And we're going to right-click that. Right-click, and we're going to create new timeline using selected clips. So when we create that, we're going to get some prompts here. We can name it. Let's call it demo for now. Number of video tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4 videos is what we had. Now pay attention here. If you got your notes, write this down. Number of audio tracks. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you're asking, Chris, I thought there was only one audio track that you created in step 2. But remember, there's audio attached to each one of these videos. And that's a good thing, and you'll see why in just a moment. So there are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 audio tracks, including the master file that we put together. So 4 and 5. 4 videos, 5 audios, and we're going to press create. When it creates, it'll populate here in the timeline. So you see now that we've got our video, which is blue, and our audio, which is green. This is a little zoom tool here. And if I move that back, you can see there's our 4 videos, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our 5 audios, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we also have some different tracks here. So what I'm going to do is move these files over. I'm going to drag them up and over. We need those vertical on top of each other there so that we can line these things up, use the same exact process that we used in step 2 in step number 3 of the process. And there's our final file down there at the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is zoom in a little bit so we can get these bigger. I'm going to move the audio files. Let's see, actually, let's move the video files up, and then that moves the audio files up as well. And I'm going to enlarge these audio files so that we can see the waveform. And you see, this is similar, isn't it, to step 2 of the process where we can see the waveform, you can see the music starting, and the 6 clicks that I have here in the beginning. That wouldn't necessarily be clicks for you. That would be something like a 1, 2, 3 clap, which I can talk more about in the Q&A. Just remind me. Now, if I press play, again, it sounds chaotic. We don't like that sound, so we got to line things up. So we're going to follow that same process. Let's move this guy out just a little bit, and we're going to use it as our bottom track. Notice when I move the audio, it also moves the video, which is in blue. And we're going to get those as close as we can visually. Okay, move those over. See, it moves the video, and that's a good thing because that video and that audio is connected. And then what I'm going to do is zoom in a little more. Let's click over here. Okay, we're going to zoom in. And there we go. Like these first 2 are pretty well aligned. Let's align this one a little better. Okay, now DaVinci only allows you to get so close by dragging. Then what we want to do is nudge it. So we're going to click the track that we want to nudge. On an Apple computer, this is Option arrow keys, and that allows me to nudge this closer. If you're on a PC, I believe it's Alt arrow keys, and we move those over, and we get them right where we want them to be. And now, pretty simple, right? Because once they're aligned there, they're going to sound good. That means our video is where it needs to be as well. Watch this. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. So all of our audio and video tracks are now aligned. So now how do we get our videos to look like that classic, what I call classic virtual choir look? I'm going to move the media pool. I'm just going to get that out of the way so I can see a video screen here. And I'm going to pull open the inspector. The inspector is a useful tool that I can unpack more in our Q&A time. You don't necessarily need it, but it can be very helpful. What I'm going to do is highlight the video. So remember, video's in blue. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to right-click it. Okay, there's steps here. There's a lot of steps. And yes, you'll have a recording of this, but also keep in mind, in the Creating Virtual Choirs online course, we have the same step-by-step process in bite-sized chunks. So if you're interested in that, I can tell you more about that and how that could help you as you're moving through this process as well. So I highlighted all of those tracks, and what we're going to do is come up here. This is important. Watch very carefully. Up here, this little arrow beside this box, we're going to press that little arrow. Okay, when we press that arrow, we get a few options. We're going to go to the first one, which is transform. I'm going to click that. Boom. Looks like nothing happened until I move my cursor and I get a little box. And basically, I'm going to highlight each video here, and I'm going to shrink it down using that box. And I can move it around the screen. Click a video, shrink it down. Now do you see where we're going, right? Is the aha moment happening for you? That's how we get these video tracks into that virtual choir look. And we can move it all around the screen. So we take our final video, just highlight your video, shrink it down, move it around. You can increase the size as well, right? And you could play with that, eyeball it, kind of see what you like, what aesthetic you're after. In fact, I have some tips for planning and plotting out your virtual choir presentations that I can share with you in the Q&A. If you're interested in that, just remind me. A lot of stuff I'll share with you guys today in that official Q&A. It's going to be a great time for you to ask your questions about any step of the process, so you walk away with some clarity and you walk away feeling really good. So I trust that you're seeing how just simple it is to move those videos around. If you have 8, it works the same way. If you have 16, it works the same way. And that's how we get it into that classic virtual choir look. Now what we want to do is save this off. Once you've got this position, again, you can use the inspector tool. I actually do recommend using this tool to get more fine detail with the placement of your videos. And we can unpack that a little more in the Q&A. What I'm going to do after I'm finished and I like where these are, what I'm going to do is head over to this button, which is called Deliver. We're going to deliver this video. We're going to name the video. We'll call it Demo. And then we're going to browse the location. Let's save it to the desktop. So here we go. Click it. Save it to the desktop. Save. And then we're just going to add it to the render queue. When I press that, it populates over here. Boom. Press Start Render, and your video saves off. Now, I'm not going to